All right, man. I hate having to make this video because today I absolutely messed everything up. It was a terrible day for me today. I don't know what I did. I knew I was slipping. I was going down a very slippery slope and I absolutely fumbled. I messed up so bad. My number one issue, I do not want to accept when a day is red. I don't want to accept that a day could be red and I don't want to just walk away and come back the next day. That's what you got to do sometimes. If I had a 100% win rate, if I won every single day, I'd be a freaking trillionaire, bro. That's unrealistic. It doesn't work like that. I gotta stop going against the nature of the markets and I gotta accept and obey the rules of the market. You can't be a rule breaker and a trader. If you're over here trying to be a rebellious trader, the market's gonna spank you over and over and over again. There's no getting out of this. All right, so let's start. I got the Dow Jones right here on the hourly time frame. All right, so the Dow Jones, we could see it broke structure right up in here with this massive candle yesterday at 9 a.m. It broke structure. Following that, price came down, came back up. What can we see? Price failed to make a higher high. So it came down here, made a higher low, failed to make a higher high, and then broke this structure and made a lower low. This is a higher low, lower low. All right. So then let's move down to the 15-minute time frame. Let's see what we got. What can I identify right now? First, I saw this imbalance right here. Now I was thinking, price could potentially continue higher from here because there's an imbalance here, and this caused a massive bullish move. There was a little consolidation, a sweep of liquidity. It could cause a bullish move. That was my thought process. But something I did notice was this liquidity down here. There was the Asian session lows, the London session lows, and just clear liquidity. Price has just been pushing higher and higher and higher. And with this bearish break of structure, I thought it's possible that price is ready for a retracement at this point. However, I don't know for sure. That's why we wait for confirmations. So I started on the Dow Jones because, as you can see, I'm going to go to the NASDAQ real quick. The NASDAQ already broke structure bearish at this point, and it was already moving. There was some liquidity up here, but based on this, let me go on the NASDAQ. Let me just give you a little rundown. Price came up here. It swept, barely swept this supply zone, this extreme supply zone. It came down, broke structure right here, broke structure again, came to this demand zone, failed to make a higher high from this demand zone. So this demand zone was invalidated, and then broke this demand zone and broke structure once again. Clearly sellers are in control. Clearly it's a bearish market. So I saw that price already broke structure. It was at lower low territory. The price is too discounted for me to sell from here. And I did not want to buy right now, which, as you're going to see later in the session, I messed up completely, went against my rules, but you don't want to buy from a lower low. So let's go back to the 15. Oh, we're on the 15. Let's go back to the Dow. All right. What else can I see from here? I can see that we have a decisional supply zone right here. Why is this a decisional supply zone? Because this was the last supply zone that was formed before price broke structure, which is this low, and created a bearish break of structure. All right. So that was the zone I was looking at. I had that marked out like this. So just label it a decisional, and let's go down. Let's see. So right now, as you can see, I'm just focused on the Dow right now because it hasn't made a bearish move yet, and the Nasdaq already moved. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just try to catch something on the Dow because there's more move. There's more room for the Dow to run. Let's go right. All right. Let's observe. Market's about to open. Okay, market open. We could see price had a bullish reaction. Came into this decisional supply zone and is giving bearish candles. Let's see. Right now, there's nothing I could trade. I'm just watching. Boom. We could see there's a bearish break, just barely with a wick. However, I wouldn't take this trade. It's too close to the market open, and it's just not clear confirmation. So I'm just going to continue watching. Boom. This was my confirmation right here. Price broke structure here, came up, failed to make a higher high, correct? And then pushed lower, another bearish break of structure. So then from here, this was my entry. Right above this wick to this was my entry. Price was also reacting off a decisional supply zone. We were in premium prices. Everything was looking good. Come here, put it up there, 48. Boom, there we go. Come down. What was my overall target for this trade? I could look here. Let's just say the Asian session lows. The session lows that are resting right here. Target. Now let's see how price played out. Boom, I got tapped in. Nice little rejection candle, but let's see. Okay, couple nice candles. I was going to move to break even if price broke this level right here, but it didn't. It failed to break this low and make a lower low. It instead broke higher, made a higher high. I did not close. Why? Because price could have easily just swept this and continued lower, and it's not a part of my rules. That's not a part of my rules. I don't close it just because I have this feeling. No. So I just held the trade, stop loss. I let it get hit. Boom. First loss of the day right there. So now this was my mistake. This decisional is still intact. If this zone got taken out, then I could have flipped my bias. I could have been like, all right, perhaps the market is bullish right now. Instead, I just flipped my bias. I saw this high get taken out. I just got stopped out. I'm like, oh, we're bullish now. So then I came here. I had this demand zone marked out when this is not enough confirmation. I might be in a higher time frame imbalance, but this decisional is right there. Why am I ignoring this? This was just emotionality. I just got stopped out and I was like, oh, flip my bias. I wanted to be a part of the Dow Jones. Even though the Dow Jones didn't want anything to do with me. It just stopped me out. But I wanted to be a part of it. And that was the problem. So then, what also something I did. This right here, this break of structure, I changed it to a liquidity sweep. I'm like, oh, I got stopped out. This must have been a liquidity sweep now. Terrible. So that was the demand zone I marked out. I had just like that. Couple ticks below. I was just targeting the London session highs up here. That was my target. I think I had this right here. This was my entry. Right below that one. That demand zone right there. Now let's see what happens. Price remitigates, correct? It doesn't break above this high either. So it fails to break above the high, remitigates the decisional. So there's no reason for me to be buying from here, but I still bought. So what can I do? Came down. It was consolidating a little bit. Tapped me in. Now, looking back in hindsight, what can I see? Came into the decisional. Boom. Made a bearish break of structure. And it's going to blast me and stop me out. But that's in hindsight. What can I see in the moment? Got stopped out. Once again. Got stopped out twice so far because I flipped my bias on the Dow. So that's a lesson for me. If you take a loss, that doesn't mean your overall bias was wrong all the time. You just got to zoom out. You got to make sure, okay, did my whole supply zone get invalidated? No, it was just my entry. My entry was just a little too tight. If I took this trade, boom, put it here, covered this high, I would have been in this trade and I would have caught this whole move. But I didn't, so I got stopped out. But, okay, now we can see there's a clear bearish break of structure. And at this point, I was waiting. I was like, okay, now we are clearly bearish. I saw my mistakes. That was a liquidity sweep. Price broke structure. Now, I had this supply zone marked up, clearly. But clearly, we're in a bearish market. So I had that supply zone marked out. However, as you're going to see, price is just moving bearish with no signs of slowing down. Cool. Now what did I do? Instead of being smart and just walking away, I took my 2 losses for the day. Price is moving bearish. it doesn't seem like I'm gonna have a good trade entry. I should have walked away at 2 trades. Instead, I went down a very slippery slope. Let's see what I did. Uh, okay, Nasdaq. What did the Nasdaq do? It came up, mitigated this supply zone right here, continued lower, broke structure. Let me just give a little analysis on the Nasdaq. Since we were focused on the Dow, what did the Nasdaq do in the meantime? Okay, just came up, respected a supply zone, continued lower. Extremely bearish price action. Extremely bearish. All right. Now let's go back because I was still on the Dow. Now I was on the 1 minute time frame. Let's get a higher time frame glimpse. There's no reason for me to be buying. I'm trying to catch a falling knife. Why am I buying from here? Doesn't make any sense for me to buy from here. You're catching a falling knife. It doesn't make any sense for you to buy from there. So then I come down. I'm just on the 1 minute time frame. I took 2 losses. I'm pissed at myself. I'm trying to make these losses back. I know it's wrong, but I'm justifying it to myself. I'm like, 2+1 rule. I took 2 good trades. I could take one more. It's still around my session. Cope. You're coping. But let's go. Let's see what I saw. Boom. This is what I saw. I remember this. Price came down here. I saw this. A little break above a little high. No higher time frame reasoning to take a buy whatsoever. That was my demand zone. I had it here. Just like that. Make that a demand zone. Targeting London high, somewhere up there. But as you're going to see, I got tapped in. Absolutely demolished. And I deserve it. This was not a good trade at all. Why did you take this trade? This was a terrible trade. Price is continuing lower. We were in premium, and you're buying in premium prices. Now let's see what I was doing. Clearly, this is a bearish break of structure, which left behind a supply zone. This is going to be important later. All right, let's see. Price came up. What's it doing? Oh, another 1 minute break of structure. So I saw this at around 12 a.m. It's about right. This is when I took this trade. Boom, took this supply zone. Just on the 1 minute time frame, just taking willy-nilly trades. Terrible trades. This 1 minute confirmation is not enough for me to trade. I need the higher time frame narrative to be in my favor. I need more information than just a 1 minute time frame. This is terrible. I took this trade. Let's see what happens. Oh, price came up. What did I do? I should have moved to break even at that break of structure because that's my protocol. Second. Once I get a 1 minute break of structure, I move my stops to break even to protect capital. Also, this is counter trend, first and foremost. Second off, there's a supply zone right there. Price is likely going to mitigate that and continue lower. But instead, I had my full stop loss at the same spot. Got absolutely demolished. You'll see. It was moving around a little bit. Forget that first one. I should have definitely moved to break even right here. Clearly, 2 breaks of structure. The first one, okay, I get it. I wanted to let price breathe a little bit more. But this one, price has to be at break even in this scenario. That's according to my rules, not no willy-nilly emotionality rules. That's concrete rules. Let's see what price does. Reacts bearish. Stop loss. Stop loss, just like that. I got stopped out right there. So this is all wazoo. This is all just nothing. No confirmation. Price is just continuing lower, continuing lower, continuing lower. Now at this point, I'm still on the Dow. I took 4 losses on the day. I'm still on the Dow. Now, at this point, I think I went to class. Correct? So, okay, I was done with the Dow now. So the Dow is all the way here. I moved my focus to the NASDAQ. I saw the Dow. It's in no man's land. I can't trade this. So let's go to the NASDAQ. Let's see if I skip past it. I hope not. Yes, I did. Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna move back to right here and on the 1 minute. So now I was on the Nasdaq on the 15-minute time frame. Let's see where we're at. So there's a demand zone right over here, as you can see. This demand zone got swept. There's also an imbalance right below it. And this overall in the higher time frame is acceptable for me to look for buys from here. It's acceptable. However, it's not acceptable like in this situation because of the time. It's 1 p.m., 2 p.m. I do not trade at that time. That is not part of my rules. It's not acceptable in this situation. But let's say this was during my session, I could look for buys from here. I could look for buys from this area. So we had that sweep, right? There was a demand zone. It just got swept. Right here. I saw that. Look at this. I saw a sweep and a couple of bullish candles, and I have entered from that. That was my entry. Nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough confirmation for me to take this trade. I entered in one of these candles and somewhere in this consolidation. I had a modest take profit, but I risked way too much on this trade because I was trying to make my losses back. Terrible thing to do, as you're gonna see. Let's see what happens. Price came down. I'm like, ah, shit, I'm gonna get stopped out. Came up. All right, got a nice bullish move. So right here, boom, bullish breaker structure. What should I have done? I should have had stops at break even, and I did. I did have them. But let me tell you what I did, because my decision making is so messed up at this point. Price was coming down a little bit. I got scared right here. I'm like, nah. I had my stop loss at break even. I put it just below here. I'm like, let me give it a little bit of room. I think this could hit take profit. I was being hopeful. There's no hope in this game. This game is straight statistics. There's no hope. What are you over here hoping for? The market does not care about hope. And you're about to see. I'm hoping, oh, please go up, go up. Blasted. Finished. Took another loss right here. Now, what do I see? Got liquidated right here. We were in a higher time frame. Bullish imbalance. Liquidity was swept. I entered once again from this demand zone right here. This was the demand zone I entered off of. Honestly, I'm just like grasping for straws at this point. Like, this is terrible. Like, I don't know why I'm taking these trades. I just can't walk away. I'm just like revenge trading. Classic. I had the same take profit at this trend line right here. Let me mark it out. There's a little trend line right over here. Good take profit, but let's see. I'm getting just aggravated living through this session again. So aggravated with myself. So I saw that, and I had some limits right there on this candle right here, which swept this. I'm like, no, this was the smart money trap over here, and this was the real inducement. Price came down, didn't close below, made a bullish reaction. Let's see what happens. I got tapped in right there. All right, now let's see what price does. I'm watching. Beautiful bullish candle. Okay, now I'm feeling good. I'm like, I know this is wrong, but can I just make this trade back so I can win and make back my losses and not blow this account and not feel the uncomfortability of being in a little drawdown? Can I just have that? That's what I was praying for at this moment. Blasted. Price came all the way back down. I'm panicking now. I'm like, I'm so panicked. This is terrible. This is not how you trade. By the way, this is a terrible emotional meltdown right here. Let's see. Came back up. Now I'm relieved. Okay. At this point, I had a breaker structure. I learned from my previous mistakes. I had my stops at break even. All right. My stops are at break even. So if I get stopped out, it's because if I get stopped out, it's for no loss. It's at break even. Price also broke this structure. What time is it right now? 3:41 p.m. So I'm just holding. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can hit take profit. What happens? Okay, it's getting a little scary. I get stopped out at break even. And what do? Right on this candle, I enter with increased risk. Why? What was my logic right here? So I got stopped out right there at break even. All right. What was my logic? There was a demand zone right here. That was my logic. It broke structure. Like, just grasping for straws, man. You should not be trading still. What are you doing? Terrible. Let's see. Price came over here. I entered right here. Increased risk. I had like, I'm supposed to be risking like $200, $250 a trade. This trade was like $550. I was trying to make it back. This is a terrible way to trade. Terrible. So what happened? I got so lucky. This is pure luck. This is God giving me another chance, letting me keep my accounts and telling me, you got to fix up because you're not going to get away with this anymore. You got to fix up, do the right things, or you're finished. Let's see. I got lucky. Look at this bullish candle. The second I saw this candle, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Move to break even. I'm like, okay, I'm done trading. I'm down to like, I'm in deep drawdown. I'm about to hit my max daily loss on these accounts. I'll move to break even. And then I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. Came up, got lucky. Got just absolutely lucky. Got a little bullish move. Whatever. Price is moving, price is moving, price is moving. And I think I closed somewhere around here. And I made back my losses for the day and made like 150 profits. So it was counted as a profitable day on my account. All right. So what did I do today? Losses after losses after losses. This was the NASDAQ. 2 losses and a BS win. A filthy win. This win, if I let this win get to my head, you're an idiot. From now on, you're never going to be profitable if you let this win get to your head. If you let today get to your head, you're never going to be profitable. Because this is filthy. This is like, you just gambled your way to win. This is terrible. You can't do this ever again. Okay, so I took 2 losses and a filthy win. Count that as a loss too. 3 losses. And what did I do on the Dow? Loss, flipped my bias, took a loss with no confirmation, like no reason for me to be buying here. Took another loss, no reason for me to be buying here. For 7 losses on the day. I mean, 6 losses and a win, but just nothing was to process. I didn't follow my process at all. It was an extremely bearish day. As you can see, let me get out of replay mode. Just a bearish meltdown on the Dow, similar on the NASDAQ. Just a terrible day for me. So what are some key takeaways from today? Gambling is what I did today, and it will not feed me long term. It will take money out of my pockets. If I cannot be disciplined to my trading plan, you will never be profitable. That's a guarantee. I guarantee you. Wallahi, if you continue this behavior, you will never be profitable. On God's name. That's how serious I am. I made back my losses today, and I'm happy I still have the accounts because I have the ability to trade, but I am not happy with the profits. I am not happy with my process. I'm not happy with today's trading session at all. My focus from now on is to 2 things. If I could do these 2 things, I know I could be profitable, and I know I could get consistent payouts and change my entire life. Listen, $200 to $250 per trade. That's how much you should be risking. Because there's trailing drawdown. Like, no matter what, that's enough money. Trust me, that's like $1,200 risk across all your accounts. 1 R is $1,200. That's, alhamdulillah, that's good money, bro. Second, stop taking more than 2 trades. Third, don't trade outside of 9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. You got to be more process driven. That's the thing you're missing. You got to follow the process. If you can't follow the process, you will not be a trader. That's what differentiates traders versus gamblers. If I'm going to continue trading like this, I might as well go to a casino, get a gambling sponsorship, do whatever. That's what I should do if I'm going to continue this. This is a professional path laid out for you. You have a lifetime opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity to change the trajectory of your generations that are coming after you with this. You can make so much money. No job is going to pay you like this. No job is going to give you the freedom like this right here. So just a little rant at the end there. I understand today was a bad day. It was hard for me to make this. It was hard for me to live through this again. But this is what's necessary. I need to speak about this. I need to go through these negative days right here. Days like this is what's going to allow me to overcome my bad habits, change my behaviors, and just become a better trader. That's what you need to do. You got to just continue journaling, continue making these videos, especially on days like this, on days where you mess up. It's easy to make videos on the days where you have one trade, A plus process, hit take profit in like 40 minutes. Beautiful day like I had on Monday. Those days are easy. Days like this are what will build you, make you better, and these are the ones that will test you. I didn't want to make a video today. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even want to journal these trades today, but I had to. This is what I had to do. So I appreciate anybody watching. If you watch the whole thing, I appreciate it. Future Salman, if you're watching this, I feel like this is gonna be a turning point. You're gonna definitely lock in from here. You're gonna stop this nonsense. You're gonna become profitable. Peace.